Welcome to Book Bites with Rebecca and Rebecca.
Whetting your appetite for your next read.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our latest episode of Book Bites. We are so glad to be here. I'm Rebecca Reed from rural Indiana, and this is my partner in books, Rebecca Reed. I'm sorry, I've given you my name now. I don't know what I'm doing. Rebecca Yager, we'll try that right. From Dallas, Texas. We live clear across the country, so I guess if we did have the same name, it'd be kind of interesting. But we do not. We do not. It's okay. We are here, as always, to talk to authors because we love to talk to authors. And today we're talking to Tricia Goyer and Nathan Goyer, who have written a series of really interesting stories. Today we're going to talk about the third one in the series called Twist of Time. Is that right? Did I get it right?
Yes, you got it right.
Okay, good.
Now, you may recall last year we spoke with them about Breath of Bones, which was book one. There, thank you, Tricia. Right on cue. Book two has already come out, and that was Flight of Fate. There she is, our lovely. I'm going to date myself. Our lovely Carol Merrill.
I was thinking Vanna White.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And now we've got book three that's going to release next month in June for Twist of Time. So, tell us more about Twist of Time. Where are we? What's going on with it?
Nathan, I'll let you take it away.
All right. Twist of Time is the kind of the climactic ending to the story you've been sitting this whole time. It is having to do with a certain clock tower that has to do with, in central Prague. It is one of the centerpieces of Prague. So we knew we had to do something with that. And it's also, it's the Clockwork Chronicles. So we are going to be dealing with a clock. Now, what is special about this clock, Mother?
It's special about this clock because all through the book, we kind of see these supernatural forces at play, like what's going on, why is this golem coming to life? And that's book one. In book two, we have the Farnese Cup, where we have this cup that helps you to kind of look into the future, and they have to kind of chase that and get that from the Nazis. And so book three, we'll kind of see what has been happening behind the scenes. And basically, there's kind of a break between our physical world and the spiritual world. And I remember years ago when I was researching for my second novel, I mean, this is like 2003. This is when Nathan was a little toddler. No, not quite a toddler, but a little kid. I found like a lot of what was going on, like with Germany and the Nazis, just like the spiritual stuff that was happening. They would have like kind of almost seance types things. And there was all these like darkness. And even back then I thought, there's so much of the spiritual fight going on behind the scenes. And we know that just in life, there's, the Bible talks about that. There's the stuff that we see, and then there's the fight that we don't see. And so really this third book takes place like the fight that we haven't been able to see. Now in Twist of Time, we're able to see. And so we have the astronomical clock in Prague. We have kind of a break between that physical world and the spiritual world. And then we have the characters that we love. We have Joseph and Katerina. And book two, we introduce Theodora and Dante. So they're all there, all in their own little areas trying to fight what's going on during World War II. And this third book takes us to the very last day of World War II. And the very last fight of all of World War II fought in Europe took place at the astronomical clock in Prague. And
in real history. That's what happened.
Wow.
We were into the series. I'm like, wait, this was the very last fight.
That's so cool. I'm glad you brought all the characters together to, instead of introducing two, like completely, like you've got the ones that we've followed all the way through. That's cool.
We do have a couple extra. Well, we have one extra point of view character. He is connected to Theodora, and then we have actually the point of view of Katerina's father. So he's kind of been this figure. You're like, more is going on with him than meets the eye. So then we're in his point of view, and we really see how this ties back to the jewels taken from the Romanovs right before. And that was true. The Czech Legion was part of trying to save the Romanovs before they were all killed. The Romanov family, Tsar Nicholas and Anastasia, we know this story. So it actually ties back to then, and we get to hear, through his mind and through his stories, what really happened back then and how it impacts now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that sounds fun. I really like it. Do you have a scene that was the most fun to write that you can share? Or if we can't share it because it's a spoiler,
No spoilers.
we don't want those. But if there's something that you could, just a word or a phrase that you could give us so that we know that's the scene when we read the book.
Well, it's on the cover, so maybe we can share.
Yeah.
And
That's what came to mind as well. Yeah.
we really went back and forth on what should be on the cover. We'll just say that part of the city of Prague is floating in the air on the cover of book 3.
Okay.
That was
All
pretty.
right.
No? Yeah.
It's more fascinating the more we talk to them.
I know. I know. That's what I'm thinking too. It's like, wow. Okay. So I know this is we've talked about this before, and if you go back and look at our other episodes, you'll know this is a genre mashup, right? It is not a cut and dried, this is this, and this, right? So give us a little bit about, I mean, for people who don't know, what can they expect, and who do you think would like this book? Like specifically, if you like this, who should read this book? Besides everyone, of course.
Yeah.
I would say that it's one of those things. Like I grew up playing a lot of like video games and stuff like that. Like one of my favorite games was called Age of Empires, and I learned it was a fun game, and I learned a lot about history while I was playing it. It actually helped me a lot when I got to history classes in school. I was like, oh, I know that from the game. So I could say this really can hit, anyone who really likes those kind of fantasy books and stuff like that can really get into this and just learn real history while they're going on an adventure. And also at the same time, the people who have just read historical fiction, maybe they've been kind of curious about fantasy books and steampunk books, and this can be kind of their dipping their toes in as well. So I see it almost as a bridge between these two different audiences can kind of see what the other side is like while they're getting to experience something they love.
Yeah, and I've had some of my readers who never have read any type of fantasy or speculative fiction because it's steampunk plus some fantasy elements. So steampunk, if you're not familiar, because some people are like, what's steampunk? Steampunk is if the steam age had continued, and so we have like steam airships or dirigibles, and we have steam powered Nazi weapons, and they have spider tanks that are steam powered. So it's like steam powered machines if they were still going in World War II, mixed with fantasy elements, like we talked about the spiritual nature. Mm-hmm. There's things that are coming to life that shouldn't come to life, mixed with very, very true World War II. And I think that's another element we have, that between probably every third chapter, I have a clipping from the newspapers. And so I've did a lot of research. The newspapers during the timeline, which is meticulous. And that's sometimes it got in the problem with our plot. We're like, how are we going to make this work? Because these things were happening on this day. And so everything that happened, like if bombs fell or if there was a major fight or an assassination, those actually happened in history. So some of my people that just my readers are my people, my readers who probably would have never read steampunk or fantasy, because I wrote it. They're like, oh, I want to see. And they were just curious about me co-writing with Nathan. They loved it. Like some of the best reviews on Amazon are like, I never would have picked up a book like this. And so if you like historical fiction, but you never thought you would kind of venture into these other areas, I think try it because it's a lot of fun. There's action, the characters, especially like Theodora. Theodora is mine and Nathan's, I think, all the time. She's part of the mafia during World War II, which they had a big part. And she's just so fun. She's the funnest character to write because she just does stuff. You're like, oh my goodness. She has so much guts and comes up with stuff that I never would have thought of. So that's pretty fun.
Well, I can vouch for what you just said, Tricia, because I like historicals and stuff and never adventured into the steampunk and even the fantasy world. And I think it's because of the way you do write the characters between the both of y'all, the characters in the story, it just drew me in. And so it really was fun to bust into a little bit of a new genre for me. So I would totally agree that it's worth the shot because it was really good. And now I'm sucked in, you know. Now we got to
Yes.
get to book 3 and read it all.
I know.
Yeah, and the narrator for book 2, Flight of Fate, is James Rupert. So if you've read some of his kind of fantasy books, which he's like I don't even know how many Christie Awards he's won. He's like the Christie Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and he does awesome narrations. And he's also going to be doing book 3. So I love the audiobooks, and I always feel like because the narrator kind of brings their own, I don't know, actor or their own sense to it. Even the way sometimes he reads it, I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool the way he reads it too. That's like the next level if you love audiobooks.
Yeah.
It's they're
Rebecca, yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, and we love Jim Rubart too. So,
yeah,
Yes.
he's so great. Yeah.
yeah.
He's the reason we have this show,
He is the reason we have this show.
technically.
He's the one who suggested it, basically.
So,
He's so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and here's a backstory. At Mount Herman in 2006, I think I met him on the shuttle going. It was his very first writers conference. He had a book, which ended up being Rooms, that he was trying to kind of pitch. I gave him his advice. So he always says, "Oh, Tricia Goyer discovered me," because I like met him there and like introduced him around. I don't know if I could claim that, but it's super fun that I've known him like literally on the shuttle to the very first writers conference he was going to. So that was super fun.
yes.
Then this feels almost full circle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let everybody know how they can, keep up on all of these stories that you're writing. What's the website and any other details you want to share, and then we'll get people to get this book, right? So,
It's from Enclave Publishing, which if you love speculative fiction, they're like the best. They really focus on making sure the spiritual message is there in all the books. But my website is just triciagoyer.com. It has information where you can get all the books, or anywhere books are sold, you'll be able to find this series. It's the Clockwork Chronicles. And then, Nathan, did you want to share anything?
I don't know. Like I said, if you're curious about it, maybe like we talked about, if you've never read, this kind of series before, give it a try. You might be surprised, and you might be pleasantly surprised.
I would totally agree with that. Are there any other books together? I mean, y'all are still talking to each other, I think. So mother and son writing together hasn't messed up the relationship.
No, we finished book 3.
Right.
I'm like, I was already like ideas, and he's like, "Mom, give me a break. I need a little time," because we wrote a book a year, which these are pretty detailed, and so that's a lot. And Nathan also has a full-time day job, so he's like, "Let's take a break for a little bit." So before you,
I will say this will not be the end. No, this will not be the end. It's just a break.
okay.
Just a break.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
breaks are warranted from time to time. But meanwhile, now as of June, the whole series, the 3-book series, will be out, so everyone can just binge read if they haven't.
exactly.
Didn't start with Breath of Bones, so enjoy it. This is Twist of Time, comes out next month in June. Pick it up, book 3. Clockwork. Oh, Tricia, I'm sorry.
Clockwork
What's the series
Chronicles.
name?
The Clockwork Chronicles. Yes.
I knew I'd mess that up. Sorry.
Good. You're good.
Anyway, and go to triciagoyer.com for details and all about Tricia's books if you haven't read Tricia's books. That's a whole other to go on and on, on and on. But really good to see y'all again. Thank you for joining us again. Twist of Time comes out next month. And actually, Rebecca, we don't know. We haven't confirmed our next Book Bites author yet, so I can't say anything. So go to our website, Rebecca.
It'll be on the website.
.com when we confirm the author we think is coming next time for Book Bites. But we're glad you're here for this episode of Book Bites. And again, go to rebeccaandrebecca.com for our schedule for all our social media. For anything else you want to know.
Until then, have a great day.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care.